Hey YouTubers, yes, how are you doing? It is an amazing day today, but I just wanted to kind of reflect and talk about the protests. So I went to the protest in London at Trafalgar Square, and I also went to the protest in Birmingham as well, and both of them were really good. The first one that I went to was in London. Literally just bought a ticket straight away and went down, just by myself, because I just needed to go there to represent myself, which was obviously this is something that I've been through. I'm just going to represent myself, and because I know that there's a lot of people that are frustrated, that have been in a position and faced racism. But anyway, going back to Trafalgar Square had loads of people. It was just showing tons of love. But then from after that, it went around the city, but then it ended up stopping around Parliament. This is when the actual protests kind of like slowed down. People started to go home because obviously it's a peaceful protest, and the police just came out in full force. There was more police officers than there were actually people a part of the protest. And when you get into a point where it was really it was just like the numbers of police compared to protesters was crazy. It was easily like 2 times 3 times the amount, when you're seeing trucks and trucks and trucks and trucks loads of police officers jump out of trucks and then walking down the street as if like we're going to war or something, which was fairly annoying, to be fair, because a peaceful protest turned into much more of the police antagonizing the protesters and end up arresting them and hurting other people. From my perspective, there was a lot of police officers that were walking through the crowd and really getting kind of confrontational, where some of them weren't. I actually had a conversation with 2 officers, which I'll get into and I'll show the clips. And it was just good at the start, and then it got to some madness, which wasn't that good in my experience being there. Walking through, I witnessed 6 people get arrested, and to be fair, a lot of it was just very petty. There was one guy that I seen, which I'm going to put the video up of, where there was just an Asian guy, Indian guy, and he had like a wrap around his face. But there was loads of people that had a wrap around their face, or they had like a mask, because obviously this COVID thing. And 7 police officers were just surrounding him. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let the video do the talking, and then I'll just narrate over the top of it so you can hear my voice and that. But it was just stupid, and it was uncalled for, and it was just unlawful in my eyes.
He didn't hit him in the chest. I'm recording all of this. I'm recording it. He didn't hit him.
Changes. So, here's going to be a video as well. I'm just going to put some footage so you can watch all the bits and pieces that I went, what I had seen and what I captured. So, after all of this madness, I started to kind of speak to the police and just like put my opinion across about why there's so many police officers, and how is it that we can make change, where one of them clearly wasn't racist. You can tell on his face, and it was just like he was just listening to me, and he was like, you know what, I don't condone what actually happened in America, and I don't condone any violence that happens here in the UK. But what we do, we try and do our best to make sure that everyone's safe, which is obviously their job to do. But then one other police officer says, well, if you want change, then you have to join us. And then my question after that was like, why should we need to join the police to make a difference? Shouldn't it be that the police is looking after us and actually serving us in a respectful manner? And like, no matter what creed or colour you are, or religion, or anything, that you're actually looked after by the police. And then from there, he kind of stumbled, and there was a bit of ums and ahs, and then he started making up his own, basically backpedaling, which was crazy. But anyway, I'm going to show you that footage.
What do you think could happen? What could be done for things like that to not happen there, but also here?
What, as in,
Like,
in terms of the police?
in terms of like,
What I would say to a lot of the people in this crowd is they're all trying to change it from the outside. Why not try and join the police and change it from the inside? If you have such strong feelings, you can always join the police and try and change it from the inside. You'll have more of an effect that way.
but why is it different on the inside? But why is it why do we need to have people go inside the police to make a difference?
Personally,
Because that's a good question. You brought it up. That's a good question. Why do we need to go into the police to make a difference?
My point was, obviously, there's a lot of people here who want to change the police, right? And they're trying to do it by protesting. And my message to them would be that they could join the police and try and, if they feel strongly enough that the changes need to be made, then the best way to do that is by being on the inside, isn't it?
But do you think it's necessary to actually be on the inside to make change?
I would say that you may completely disagree with what I say.
Yeah.
But I would say that obviously over the decades, and especially over the last sort of decade, great strides have already been made to change some of the problems that have been raised. And it will continue to move forward in that fashion.
And then I went to Birmingham, and Birmingham was really, really, really good. Actually, both of them were amazing, to be honest. I didn't expect, I'm not even going to lie, I didn't expect so many white people to turn up. Obviously, me going through racism a lot, I don't really necessarily see another race actually kind of back me up when I'm in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but like when I'm facing trouble by someone else that is a racist. But being at the protest and seeing how many white people are there and how fed up they are with either being potentially categorized as a racist because they're white, where we're not saying that white people are racist, but you can see the frustration of other people that are educated and have done their research, and there's some people that haven't done their research and that are just like ignorant but still go to kind of represent, but they're kicked off on next levels. But it's good to actually see that support, because I've never ever seen that type of support in my life, and sometimes I just think to myself, it's just me against the world. That's how I kind of perceive the world and life sometimes. So but it was amazing to see people there, and white people, Indian people, Chinese people, everyone kind of just like representing something that's actually meaningful in a peaceful way, until the police in London. But in Birmingham it was peaceful. There was no police, there was like no one kicking off, there was no problems at all. It was amazing, like thousands of people there. It was amazing turnout, and you could feel the love, but you can also feel the anger of how people have felt, but there wasn't kicking off in an angry way. They was just like, you know what, I'm hurt too, and I'm here to represent myself, and I'm here to represent other black people that are good and that want the best. In Birmingham there was some like type of fireworks, or it was trying to make some gunshot sounds, and I'm not sure who put that there, but to be fair, there was quite a few of them that went off, which was stupid, whoever put them there, because at the end of the day, if you thought we was going to run away because of it, you're an idiot, you're a fool. Yeah, you're a fool, basically. But it was actually amazing, and to be fair, the next step now is just really having a solid plan, and people coming together and having someone that represents us in higher places, like in the government, on all different levels, someone that can represent us. But then that can be everyone and that could be anyone, but as long as they've got the right vision that the people have. And I don't see this being a one person thing. I see this being leaders across many towns and cities, and many different leaders in those towns and cities. It doesn't take one person, it takes more than one person to make this movement become a real thing. So to be honest, I thought it was amazing seeing all the people come together. I'm going to obviously leave some clips here, probably use them as B-roll, so you can see what it was like. But now it's done. It's not about, okay, yeah, we've shouted to our top of our lungs and we've expressed ourselves a lot on social media and out in the public, but carrying this on and making sure that something is being done, because the social media emphasizes quite a lot, but it's been great to actually get the word out about what's happening. But it's about making sure that actions are taken after this, because there's no point shouting and talking if there's no action. There has to be action. So I've been working on plans. I know people have plans. It's about bringing more people together and making sure that we execute on the vision, on making sure that there's equality for everyone, basically making sure that it's not just like white people there and black people here. It should be both of us together and in unity, and having great communication with that too. So that was just my review, basically, kind of on the protest. I thought it was amazing. I think in London it was just stupid. I know that they've had one today. Today's the 13th. When this comes out, it'll probably on the 14th or the 15th. But there was a protest, but then there was kind of the footballers that came out and it was kicking off and stuff like that. They pretty much came to make a us versus them type of thing, where it's not about us versus them, it's about racism, and that is a problem. But most people that attended that to be the us versus them were probably racists, where they ended up fighting with the police, which is stupid. But then we'll see whether the news actually talk about that as a problem, because for a fact it was everywhere saying, oh, black people this, black people that, the COVID and they're going to spread of this. But then when you've got like a ton of white guys that are racist that are kicking off, we'll see if that hits the news, and we'll see whether that spreads coronavirus. Yeah, anyway, that is me just talking about this anyway. But what I kind of want to tell you guys is that speak up and be a part of the conversation. Talk about black people, talk about white people, talk about history, do some education and see how things can change for the better, for the future, for the next generation. Because at the end of the day, we're all human and there's no one's better than anyone else. We're just human and we all have our own journey. But right now we just need to really unite, and it's definitely a spiritual thing, and it's definitely a mental thing, it's definitely a physical thing, it's all of those things. It's about remembering that we all are one as an energy right here, and we should support each other, love each other, and do more for each other, because that's the whole reason why we're here. Yeah, I think that sums up everything. It's kind of a rant, but it's not a rant, but it's just a review, and I just wanted to get it off my chest, and I just wanted to just kind of talk about things that really matter. And there's going to be loads of different content that's going out anyway, but I hope you like this video. I'm going to cut it short here and I'm going to sign out. If you hope you like this video, please like this video, because the YouTube gods, the algorithm sends it to more people, and then hopefully people can get to see my review and some of the content that's here. And also please subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out tons more content. Just got this nice little setup right now, and yeah, I'm just going to be cracking on talking about loads of different stuff, as well as I have merch as well. I've been working on a lot of personal branding stuff, so I've got like some merch and t-shirts, got hoodies and stuff like that as well. for a shoot that I'm doing next week, which I'm super excited about. So yes guys, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.